Well, today I'm lucky to have the JETI DS-24 carbon line transmitter to take a closer look at, thanks to modelflight. Now, this JETI radio really represents the pinnacle of radio transmitters. This is one of those models of transmitters that you would use for your best models out there, giant scale aircraft, your jets, full house gliders, competition gliders, that kind of thing. When you want the best and you want the best programming ability, telemetry, that kind of thing, you're going to take a look at the JETI DS-24 from JETI Models. Now let's take a deeper look into it. Now it's 24 channels, as the DS-24 name would suggest. So that's plenty of functionality there. If you want to have bomb drops or you name it, you've got everything there for scale applications. It's a more than enough channels. It's resolution 4096 steps, so it's really, really fast connectivity. Massive battery life, 12-hour battery life. But let's get deeper. If I open up this document now with all my notes. Now, if we look at the radio connectivity, is a big thing for us. None of us want to have our planes go off the air. So a redundant system is really, really important to us. And that's something that anybody's flying, a plane that's worth thousands, you want something with a bit of redundancy. This is what this JETI system will give you. They've got their own system called the Duplex 2.4 gigahertz system. So it's running on 2.4 gig band, but they've also got this capability to have a backup 900 megahertz connection as a redundant backup, just in case something goes wrong. So it's in switches between the two. So that's going to give you a lot of peace of mind. Built-in telemetry, we're talking about variometers, speed sensors, GPS sensors, you name it. You're going to be able to add them onto this system. And of course, this form factor really allows it to, the whole system really allows it for great feedback from the telemetry systems, not only from the screen, but also from audio feedback as well. I love how this screen is actually at the top of the transmitter. For all of us out there that have got transmitters with the screen down the bottom, you know what it's like to try and look down and see, how long you've been flying for, how long you've got to go. It's hard to read. Being at the top, it's out of hand's way. So it makes a lot of sense to put this screen at the top. So well done to JETI. I really like that form factor. Now, speaking of form factor, gimbals. The gimbals are the best I've ever felt. They're magnetic hall sensor gimbals, and they are just beautiful, straight out of the box. This is brand new radio, I haven't touched it, and it's just silky, silky smooth. I've fallen in love with the gimbals. And to me, gimbals are one of the most important aspects of a high-end transmitter. It's all about how it feels. And it's a heavy transmitter. It's probably the heaviest transmitter that I've ever had in my hands. I use a tray, so it wouldn't be too much of a problem, spread the weight over my shoulders, that kind of thing. But it is a heavy transmitter because there's a lot packed into it. It's got a really sturdy metal case, so it's a robust solution, but trade-off is the weight. It's not a lightweight kind of thing. You need a neck strap or something like that is my recommendation. But it's comfortable in your hands. Even though it looks a bit blocky, it's really, really comfortable. On the back side of it, you can see there's some nice grips there if you're going to hold on to it. So really, really handy. Plenty of switches, like heaps of switches. We've got 3 button switches, sort of momentary switches, sliders on the side, sliders on the back, little adjustment knobs there if you want to adjust sort of gyro settings and things like that. And everything is really, really accessible as well. So the ergonomics are really nice. And it's just a clean sort of view if you just look at that from that top view. So all your main switches there for your rate switches and everything, you can configure them to where you want to go. You've got 3 rate switches there if you want, your low, mid and high rate kind of thing. Another great thing is the haptic feedback. So the gimbals are equipped with these like vibration, what do they say? Stick shaking vibration motors. So they can give you feedback, for timers and things like that, for alarms. But speaking of alarms and things like that, really voice telemetry, voice prompts is really a big part of transmitters nowadays. And JETI are really strong in that regard. There's a microphone in the middle of the transmitter, so you can actually record your own voice and it can feed back things to you, and you can set up all these alerts. There's a heap of functionality as far as alerts, for timers, battery levels, whatever you want to set up, you can do it with this radio. And you've got a nice big speaker, also got an audio jack. I love that. You can even play music through this. I know a guy that does it all the time, and to me that's awesome. It's one thing I love about this radio is that you can actually play the music, trigger it from a switch. If you're a freestyle aerobatics guy and you're practicing your routines, put your headphones in and listen to the music whilst you're flying to get your timing right. you can do that through this radio. So again, we're talking about high-end functionality here. Lithium-ion battery, as I mentioned, gives you plenty of battery life. When it comes to charging, there's a nice charge port on the top there. Just plug it in and off it goes. So nice and simple. Multiple antennas in this, all integrated into the radio. Got nothing sticking out. I think there could be up to 4 antennas in this radio, which is massive. Again, redundancy is a critical thing. Memory, internal SD card for storing model sounds. More than enough. You know, model files aren't actually that big. One good thing it can do is, does it have a camera? Can't remember. No, I don't know if it's got a camera, but you can attach photos of your model and stuff and put it up on the screen, so you can easily select what you want, which models you want to fly. Again, multiple models. Fast navigation. You've got these like 3D wheels here for moving through things. The screen is not touchscreen. It's a TFT display, but it's not. I don't think it's touchscreen. I've tried to touch it, but it's not. But we've got these easy navigation buttons underneath that it makes it pretty simple. It's pretty intuitive. Digital trims, if you want them, swappable and assignable switches. We'd expect all that, that you can assign switches to different channels and fully program it exactly how you like it. If you want to have your rate switch over here, knock yourself out. Up here, over here's another 3 rate switch. You can do that. Programming. Now, programming is it's quite logical and intuitive. That I've had a bit of a play around with it, and I'm very familiar with, say, the Spectrum range of radio, but the JETI is just as good. It's just simple. Look, with any radio, there is always a learning curve. With these radios, you can actually program. You can get some into advanced programming. They tell you what language they program in, and you can, if you're that way inclined, knock yourself out. I'm not, but there's heaps of functionality that can be built into this kind of radio. So plenty of sounds and alarms, integrated microphone, voice recognition capability. Voice recognition is coming into transmitters, so you'll be able to talk to the radio and tell it to flick turn the flaps on or retract the undercarriage, that kind of thing. I don't know how many of us would use that, but you do have that ability. For example, if you want to start a timer or stop a timer or something like that, instead of having to flick a switch, just talk to your transmitter. I don't think you can talk to the transmitter and get it to fly your plane though. You're still going to have to hold on to the sticks. And then a nice little feature is it's got an FM tuner. If you want to listen to the radio, I think you've got to attach an external antenna to do that. But if you want, knock yourself out, go and listen to the radio. So all in all, what are the things I love about it? Well, I love the screen, full color. You can configure the screen to suit whatever you want for telemetry purposes, and it's nice and big, so you're not going to have any problems viewing the screen. You can change colors and all that kind of stuff. I love the gimbals. The gimbals are absolutely the smoothest that I've ever felt on a transmitter. And of course, it's a high quality unit. You'd expect nothing less. Really comfortable in the hands. It doesn't look like it would be, but it really is nice in your hands. I love the voice telemetry aspects and the voice enablement that I can, if I really want to, I could use my voice or get someone that's got a better voice than me to record all the alerts that I want. Plenty of functionality with telemetry, plenty of channels all out of the one radio. All round high-end radio. Now you are going to pay for this. This is not a cheap transmitter. We're talking about 24 channels. It is one of the most expensive transmitters out on the marketplace, in the vicinity of like $3,000 mark Australian. So it's a computer. There is a lot of functionality. We are talking about high-end here. So if you value your aircraft, if you fly large-scale models, if you're into advanced programming for gliders or a pattern flyer, something like that, then this is the radio that you really need to consider. It definitely is. If you don't, then you're doing a disservice to yourself. Again, it's just the functionality, the 24 channels, the quality of it, the redundancy in the radio system, plus then all the receiver options. Like JETI have got an excellent range of receivers, from really micro receivers all the way up to high-end multi-channel, redundant satellite antenna systems, all that kind of stuff. You can cater a solution to suit your needs. I know a lot of the jet guys are using these radios because of the functionality that it provides, and also the integration into other systems. So for example, into gyro systems and configuring directly from the radio. And I think that's where the future is going, is that you'll be able to do a lot of setup directly from the radio and integration between the radio and things such as ESCs. I think that is the path forward, and the JETI is all ready for that. So Well done to JETI. Now, if you want to buy this radio, of course, jump onto the modelflight website at modelflight.com.au and you can see the pricing there. You can check out all the receivers. They do come in multiple colors. If this is not the color of your choice, you can get a red one, I think you can get a yellow one and whatever. The outer sort of frame comes in different colors. So take a look, the JETI DS-24 transmitter.